it's Lucy Brand here, founder of Business Goddess Awakening and the Sensual Supper Club. And today I want to share a video with you on my 3 top tips to release anxiety and fear on a mind, body and energetic level from yourself, but also from the collective consciousness. Because when we work on ourselves, we're actually working on everyone else at the same time. And in these times, it might be that we can't control externally what's going on, but we can control what goes on the inside of us, and we can control how we respond and how we react to things. So if we can come from a place of peace and love, then it will be a much better situation than one from fear. Because you have 2 choices. You can either choose fear or you can choose love. And I'm asking, praying, dancing, like asking everyone to choose love, okay? And because love is a higher vibration, there's a vibrational scale. I've spoken about this before many a times, but there's a vibrational scale, okay? At the top, I think, is enlightenment. And at the bottom is shame, okay? So, and then there's every emotion in between that we actually have a name for, because we experience loads of different emotions that don't actually have names or labels. And then depending on where you are on the vibrational scale, so if you're experiencing shame, that's the emotion that you're feeling right now, or guilt or anger or frustration, then the chances are you're feeling contracted and you're not able to see the opportunities or the miracles which are currently around you that you're attracting to you. Because as law of attraction goes, we're always attracting to ourselves. We're always attracting things to us. Whereas if you're vibrating on love, peace or above, then you're going to be vibrating on a whole different frequency, which will attract different things to you, which will attract loving things to you, which will attract peaceful things to you. Okay, and so what we want to do is keep vibrating it here with love and peace. And I know it's challenging all the time, but if you can kind of stay up here in love and peace, you're not only doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for your neighbor, you're doing it for your community, you're doing it for the whole world. Okay, sound good? Excellent. So I have washed my hands. So I'm going to share with you my 3 techniques, and one of them is EFT tapping, where I will be doing, I'll show you how I do it, but that means that we'll be using our hands and tapping on our face. So just as a disclaimer, I have washed my hands, I have disinfected my phone. It's only me and the hubby at home. He's been working from home last week, and yeah, we haven't really done anything today. We've worked, but yeah, and I've washed my hands, and I will do so after this video. Okay, so the first technique that I want to share with you is really, really simple, okay? But once again, this is life-changing. All my techniques, I've got loads in my broom cupboard. They're all life-changing. That's the reason why I share them, because they've just been profound in my own healing journey. And that's why I want to share them with you, because these have just helped me go from fear, despair, anxiety, totally hating and loathing myself, to now I think I'm pretty awesome. I love myself. I always have days where it's like not so much loving myself, but I generally on the whole love myself now. I love my body, which never used to be the case. And I'm in a very loving marriage, and we've been together for be 10 years this year, been married for 9. And he's awesome. He's like my best friend. He's amazing. So yeah, this is why I share the techniques I do, because they work, okay? So the first one, breathing. So it may seem really obvious, but we're not taught how to breathe in schools, which I think is ridiculous, because if we learnt to breathe properly, then we would have healthier immune systems. We would have better mental health and emotional health as well. It all starts with breathing. Breathing is fundamental to our existence. And so, I'm saying this with love, okay, because I didn't actually learn how to breathe properly until I think I was about 32. Because before that, when I was born, I went blue, like I stopped breathing, and so the doctors rushed me away and put a tube down me, and got me breathing again. But this happened twice. So what happened? I think because I was just a tiny hours old, I was quite bruised in the process. So when I was trying to breathe, I guess if I breathed fully at my lungs, it hurt because I was a newborn, but obviously they wanted to keep me alive. So I'm grateful for that. But so I didn't realize every time I tried to breathe and people would say, breathe down, yoga teachers say, breathe down to your lungs, breathe down to your pelvis. I could never do it. Like, I try and get this right. I used to always, and when I breathed in, I would contract my diaphragm instead of expanding it. But I wasn't really aware of this until I met a yogi when I was on a yoga retreat. He was amazing in Thailand. And he said, like, you breathe backwards, like you breathe the wrong way round. So I tried to do 10 breaths, how normal people breathe. Oh my gosh, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Like, it was so challenging. And so from then on, it's something that I've had to really work at. But not only that, I went to see a cranial osteopath when I was about 32 because I was in a yoga class, and I can't remember the pose, but it's the one where, is it eagle pose maybe? Where you cross your hands over, and I got really bad chest pains. And so my yoga teacher, who's amazing, was like, I really want you to see my friend who's a cranial osteopath. So I went to see her. And they're amazing, like they're absolutely amazing. And she was like, I think you have an old injury on your back. Like, and I was like, oh, I couldn't think of anything. And then I remembered the birthing story, and I was like, oh, and she was like, yeah, that's it. So what they do is they manipulate your muscles. So she realigned all my muscles, and then she got me to breathe in. And for the first time in my entire life, I breathed properly, like properly expanded my diaphragm out, properly expanded my lungs. And I took a breath, and I felt what that was like to have a breath go all the way down to, well, I could feel it going all the way down to my feet. And if you think, my brain hadn't had that much oxygen, my body hadn't had that much oxygen, because I could only do shallow breaths really. And I have to say, after that, like I did 3 breaths like that, I was gone. I giggled all the way down to reception, and then I had to sit there for 20 minutes because I was so high. So yeah, like, and then I still have to think about it, especially if I'm talking at the same time. But breathing, honestly, it changed my life. My skin improved on my face, which I'd always struggled with. I was able to run further. I was able to cycle further, do more exercise. And just generally, I imagine my brain is much happier, and so is my body. So with that in mind, the first one, breathing, this is a technique I learned from a yogi, and I can't remember the name of it. So if there's any of you amazing yoga teachers out there, please comment below what it is if you know. And this just really helps me, I think, because it focuses my breath. So what I do is I take my thumb and my second finger in. Like I said, I have washed my hands. And then I breathe up for 5, hold for 5, and breathe back down the other nostril for 5. So I'll just show you, okay? So it's oh, yeah. Oh, that felt really good to exhale, actually. So I would just do 5 of those and just bring your body down. Calm yourself down. Get back into a place of peace and get back into your body. When we experience anxiety and fear, we're up here. We're up here in our heads. So we need to get down into our body, rooted into our body, because when we're down and rooted into our body, we don't experience anxiety because we're more living in the now. And when you experience fear and anxiety, you're thinking about the future, or it could be the past, but you're not in the now, because we are safe. Right now, you are safe in the now, yeah? So, breathing is the first one. I'm just going to have some water. The second one is, as I mentioned before, emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping. This has changed my life. It really has. Like, I experienced a traumatic burglary in my 20s, and I was very unhappy for a long time. It did mess me up for a while. And this was one of the healing modalities which really genuinely changed my life. I did a lot because I was trying to get support myself in releasing it so I could move on. But like, this one's great. And the reason I love it is because you can't get it wrong. You can practice it at home now, just tap along and follow along with me. And it really works because it works on a mind, a body, and an energetic level. And all the work I've done, all the research I've done, like, I've been doing this stuff for years now. Like, not only do we have beliefs or and kind of beliefs that we have on a loop that can go around in our mind, which we can call limiting beliefs or negative beliefs. But we also store trapped emotions about said beliefs in our body and in our energetic field. And we are all energetic beings, yeah? We're all energetic beings vibrating around, because we're all little particles vibrating around. Okay, and so what we want to do is we want to vibrate up here in love and peace. We don't want to vibrate down here in shame, blame, or frustration, anger. If you're down there, that's cool. Like, maybe just get to one next step up. So if you're in shame, the next one might be anger. That's awesome. Woohoo, you've climbed the scale. Like, that's what we want to do. So this technique will help you get there. So I'm just going to do one. I'm going to do one for fear and anxiety right now. So tap along with me. Like I said, please wash your hands before and repeat the words I'm repeating. The way I like to do it is that I release all the negative, sorry, I'm breathing, all the negative first, and you have to really feel it, really connect with that fear. Like, I know it can be really scary, but you rather it out of you than stuck in your body, in your energy field, or in your mind. And when you have cleared it, then you do feel more peaceful, and you find that your mind stops obsessing or worrying about things. But that can be quite tricky, but just stay in the room. If you are feeling triggered, then just, my favorite point is this one on the collarbone. Just, you don't have to repeat after me, but just stay in the room and keep tapping. And then once you've released all that, what do you want to call in? You want to call in love, light, peace, all these higher vibrational emotions, okay? And that's what I do that's when I do a round of positive tapping. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to get involved. But drink lots of water, because we're doing energy work. Like, you really need to keep hydrated, and it helps the flow of energy, and it helps you to release stuff as well. Extra limes, fresh limes in mine for vitamin C. Okay, so I just need to, I'm feeling quite uplifted actually. So I just need to tap into fear and anxiety. There we go. Okay. So, and I just want you to remember that you are clearing for not just yourself to improve your own mental, emotional, and physical health. Because when we do tap, when we practice EFT, we release stress and anxiety, then we're not putting as much pressure onto our immune systems. So we actually are physically healthy as well as mentally and emotionally. And also, sorry, before I start, I just want to share this. There was several studies done, one in the USA and two in Asia, where a collection of monks came together and prayed and meditated on love and light. And when they did this in these particular cities, the crime rate dramatically dropped, like huge amounts. And so what this proves is that you can change the collective consciousness, okay? You can have an impact on your surroundings energetically. So when these monks focused on love and light, it radiated out throughout the whole city. So the crime rate dropped. Because in order to commit a crime, I imagine that you're vibrating down the scale on fear, worry, shame, guilt, all those lower vibrational anger emotions. Whereas because the monks collectively prayers are huge, but collectively praying and meditating on love and light, they were able to lift the vibration of the whole city. So the crime rate dropped. So you're not just doing this for yourself, you're doing it for your family, your community, your neighbors, your country, the world, everyone right now. We are clearing, this is what we call the collective consciousness. We're clearing from the collective consciousness as well. Okay, enough from me. Let's get in there. Okay, so fear and anxiety. All this fear and anxiety, I can really feel it. Really tune into it. I can feel it in my, where can you feel it in your body? All this anxiety I'm experiencing right now is so overwhelming. Every time I turn on the news, when I go on social media, when I go to the shops and there's nothing on the shelves, all this fear and anxiety. I'm just going to acknowledge it, and I'm choosing to release it. I'm choosing to clear it all out. Let it all go for my highest good. And the highest good of my neighbor, the community, the world. Just clear out all this fear and anxiety on all levels of consciousness, including the collective consciousness, my mind, my body, my spirit, my energy, and on a cellular level too. I'm clearing out all this fear and anxiety. As I deeply and completely love, honor, accept, and forgive myself. All this worry and panic, I can really feel it. I can just feel it from the neighbours. I can just feel it when I go to the shops. Everyone's anxious. And it really affects me. When I read the news, I'm so worried. I'm worried about work. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about the community. I'm fearful about the planet. Sometimes this fear and anxiety can become so overwhelming. I just don't know what to do with it. So that's when I must tap through it. Stay with me. Just tapping through it. Releasing all this anxiousness and fear and worry. Clearing it all out. I'm acknowledging it now. All this anxiety, worry and fear. And I'm clearing it out from my system, from my nervous system, from my mind, my body, my spirit and my energy. I'm also choosing to clear out all this fear and anxiety and worry on a conscious level and from the collective consciousness. So I'm doing my bit too, as I deeply and completely love, honor, accept, and forgive myself. All this fear and panic. All this fear and panic, I can feel it flowing through me. I'm so worried. All this worry and anxiety is keeping me up at night, struggling to sleep. I'm just choosing to acknowledge it so that I can release it. Release it out of my body, out of my mind, out of my energy field. As I'm so open to replacing it with love and hope and peace. For myself, but also for my country, for the planet, for my community, for everyone out there. I want to clear all this fear and anxiety from the collective consciousness, because I want to clear it for all the frontline workers, for all the people, the vulnerable, all the people that are pulling together. I'm choosing to clear any fear and anxiety they might be experiencing too, and on a cellular level too. And I'm inviting in hope. I'm inviting in love. I'm inviting in light. Okay, take a deep breath in. And let it go. Okay, I always forget this. So you're supposed to rate on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being feel really anxious and fearful. 0 being I feel amazing. Okay, so where do you now fit on that scale? It's best to do it before you start tapping and then afterwards, so you can kind of work out. Okay, so if I check in with myself, so I'm probably at a 2. So that's really good. So if I'm 3 or below, then I move on to the positive round. If I'm above 3, then do this video again. Like, do this section again, where you're like releasing the lower vibrational emotions of fear from yourself, because we need to get them out of you and out there. Like, not in you, because that's when they can manifest into stuff that we don't really want. Okay, so now, drink your water. Next up. So now we've cleared all that out. We want to invite in what we want. So what do you want? I want to feel calm. I want to feel peace. I want to feel love. I want to feel joy. Like, I want to see all the miracles and the opportunities which are available to me now, floating around on love or above vibrationally. Okay, so let's invite all that in. So deep breath in. Even though I'm experiencing this fear and anxiety, and it comes in waves, I'm choosing to release it. Let it all go so I can open up to love. I can open up to peace. I may even be able to open up to joy. I definitely can open up to gratitude and appreciation. I have got so much to be grateful for right now. And so I'm choosing to focus on that. I'm choosing to raise my vibration by focusing on gratitude and love. I'm choosing to experience peace right now in this moment. I'm choosing love, not fear. I'm choosing to allow in love and light into my whole being, running through my body, opening up my heart. I've seen so many acts of kindness. I've seen so many acts of love. I've seen so many acts of people supporting each other through this crisis. And there is a sense of community and solidarity. So I'm choosing to focus on that. I'm choosing to raise not only my vibration to love, peace, and gratitude, but the vibration of the collective consciousness. Because I know when I work on myself, my outside world changes. And I know when I raise my vibration to love and peace and appreciation, I become expanded. And I start seeing opportunities I didn't even know were there. And I start seeing the miracles which are happening and available to me. And that gets me really excited because I know that there are loads of miracles lining up for every one of us on this planet, including the planet. So I'm open to receiving those miracles. I'm open to receiving love. I'm open to receiving peace. I'm allowing myself, this is a big one, I'm allowing myself to experience peace in this time. I'm allowing myself and giving myself permission to experience love in this time. As I am deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And because it's for my highest good to experience love and light and appreciation right now. And it's also for the highest good of the planet, my community, my family, everyone in the world. Okay, so take a deep breath in and let it go. Then move your shoulders around, move your body around. Like, it's really important you let the energy flow through you. That's why it's really important to drink lots of water. So then tune in to how you're feeling now. So I feel very at peace. I feel quite love. I feel a lot of love. And this is the state that we want to be in, because when we're in this state, then we're able to make better decisions. We're able to help our fellow people by, not reacting, by responding. And it's also better for our immune systems. And also, you just don't know what ideas are floating around now, like ready for you to have them. This is a real time for innovation, creating as well, creating new possibilities, creating a whole new world for yourself, creating a whole new life for yourself. But you want to do that from a place of feeling safe, secure, and expanded. Okay, not from fear and lack. Right, so my third tip, okay, this is self-pleasure. Okay, this is huge for us women. When we self-pleasure, then it actually shuts down the receptors in our mind which are responsible for anxiety and fear. So as you are beginning to climax, and then once you orgasm and afterwards, you're in that bliss state. That's just wonderful because it's shut down all the fear and anxiety. And you know what I'm talking about. When you're in that state, you're not worried about anything. You're like, and that's, once again, just relax. Give yourself permission to experience that ecstasy, that joy, that peace, that calm. And it's also, it's brilliant. It's brilliant for blood flow. It's brilliant for your nervous system. It's brilliant for your skin, and it's just brilliant to raise your vibration up. And as I've said with the monk story, working on ourselves, raising our vibration actually raises the vibration of the entire planet. So when you self-pleasure, you are doing a service for the whole world. But that's another easy one. And if you're stuck in quarantine, there's not much else you can be doing, especially if you're not able to work from home, then this is a brilliant way to raise your vibration. And actually, through my own personal self-pleasure, I've manifested 15k in unexpected income and loads of other amazing benefits. So consider that one too. Okay, so just to recap, so the number one is breathing properly. It may seem insignificant, but it's huge because this is fundamental to our existence. And learning to breathe properly is really, really important. Filling your lungs and then letting go of the air. Number two is EFT tapping. I'm going to put a free resource below, which basically has a diagram of where I tapped, and then also has a script. That's what we call the bit where I'm speaking, which has fill in the blanks. So any lower vibrational emotions that you're experiencing, you just fill in the blanks, and then you can tap away and you can release it and then fill in with the positive. And the third one is self-pleasure. All of these, I guarantee if you practice all of these on a daily basis, you'll be able to stay in love, light, peace, and then just watch the miracles unfold for you, your family, this planet, everything. Okay, I love you. Stay safe, and I shall see you in the next video. Mwah!